Yeah, the two topics are the ARA funds and the maintenance of effort. Last year at this time, I spoke with you about our ARA funds, for indicating they were going to run for 2 years. So the plan for the first year I presented, and those things were purchased and are now in the classrooms. For the second year, we do have some remaining funds, and what we would like to do with those is meet with our special education, primarily our life skills teachers, and see what their needs are. And I have already scheduled a meeting and had one with them, and they have given me a few ideas. All of them sound very good. We're going to follow the same procedures we did last year with regard to the funds. And in that procedure is that they would fill out the ARA stimulus grant application, and then turn it into, or have it approved by first the campus principal and then myself. And then we will need to determine if those purchases are within the guidelines of the ARA funds, just as we did last year. And if it's allowable, then the teacher will, as long as we don't exceed the funds, then the teacher will be notified, and then at that point she will complete a purchase order so that the materials, supplies, technology, whatever ordered can be completed. And then the grant date end for the IDFE ARA funds is September 30th, 2011, which sounds like a long time for now, but really the government has always encouraged school districts to spend these funds as quickly as possible and not hold on to them. So our plan is to spend them just immediately as soon as we can get everything done. Hopefully by the end of the semester, the funds will be expended. So with regard to the maintenance of effort, the district did receive a preliminary letter of finding. And it was that the district did not maintain physical effort in accordance with the idea, which is a special education. Now, what they found was the decline in physical effort was $476,181 between the 2 years of 2007, 2008, and 2008, 2009. And what school districts are required to do by law under this idea is maintain the same level of expenditures from year to year with regard to special education programs and all students. So when we received that letter, then we immediately gathered a team of people and started really digging to find answers to why this had happened. And we compiled a maintenance of effort response document, which is this book. It took a lot of time to get all of this data. But what we found basically was there were two main areas that were problematic. The first one was there was a decline, there was a leave of special education personnel. And that amounted to a little less than half the amount, and the other amount was due to incorrect coding of PEEMS personnel. In other words, there were some teachers coded special ed who were actually gen ed teachers. And the reason that happened was that when schedules were turned into the business office, it was indicated on the teaching schedule that these teachers had inclusion classes. Well, inclusion classes include special education students. And so it was assumed then that they could be coded, part of their salary, if not all of it, might be coded to special ed. And so we found out that no, that's not permissible unless a teacher is certified to teach special education, they cannot be coded special ed. So that's where a large part of the problem was. And I did attach in your packet there is an attachment, and it was included in the response booklet. And this is an outline of all of the different areas that were found. I mentioned the two largest areas, but there were other things found. One was a decline in the co-op payment due to a decrease in LEA special education FTE. So, in other words, our special education population had also declined between those years, which the state does look at that, and that resulted in $22,833. There was a Medicaid reduction of benefits that we received between those 2 years, and that amounted to $17,072. There was a teacher illness salary reduction of $10,000. And then we claimed an allocated versus unallocated funding 23 coding of $44,000, which, Mr. Rotin, you might explain that a little bit. When you went down to have that, you discussed this with Yolanda Walker. Did she have a comment about that particular item?
Well, they were going to take that into consideration. The allocated versus unallocated is a formula TEA uses that actually it's very, very difficult to understand. Even Mrs. Walker did not fully understand it, but it appears since our recapture went up between those 2 years, that our unallocated cost went up by that same percentage, which put some of our expenditures into an unallocated column.
Right. And so when I spoke to Judy about this, she had said that she had never coded anything to function 23. However, with this procedure that they use using PEEMS information, I think that's an automatic calculation that the TEA makes based on the data the district turns in. So I don't understand that totally either. But the bottom line, though, after we had thoroughly investigated all of our data and with all of these things added, subtracted in, it looks as if they will consider all of these things, that the district will be ahead $20,000, not $476,000 in the red, but yes, $20,000 ahead. There's no guarantee at this point that they will accept all of these figures, but we feel like we've got data to support it and to prove what the error was. I attended a meeting last week and was told that sometimes districts that have this kind of a problem with MOE, this much money involved, that they may trigger an audit, a special ed audit. So that could possibly happen, but we don't know. I think they told Mr. Rotan that somewhere, maybe sometime during the month of November, end of October, they would have a
Late
decision.
October.
Late October.
How long it will take to know?
Yes, to know whether or not this will be acceptable. And I'll say, oh, okay, I'll just forget it then. Which,
Do we feel comfortable in our chances?
I think so. Everything that we submitted, we had data to support the reason, either in the decline of the expenditure or to back up the miscoding in PEEM. So basically what happened, we miscoded some things in PEEM the prior year, which set our maintenance of effort higher than it should have actually been. In 07-08, we coded some things wrong and set our maintenance of effort higher. If those would have been coded correctly, that was a big part. That was 240-some thousand of the total amount.
And we did have some personnel who left voluntarily, but again, because we had a decline in the special ed numbers, our special ed FTEs, we didn't feel justified in replacing those positions. So that was another large part of the
This is a federal program, but it's monitored by the state. Is that the way it works?
It's kind of both. The state has its own guidelines, and MOE is something that, yes, it is a federal requirement. The state has to closely watch that. I will say that for years, the last time we were monitored on this, I think, was back in the early 2001 or even late 1990s, something like that. It has been a number of years since they have done MOE calculations. So they've kind of been lax on that, but then they finally decided, okay, we're going to start with these 2 years, comparing 07-08 and 08-09, and go from this point forward. So from every school year from now on, they will be looking at each school district's maintenance effort. They're not going to do a lapse in time, is what I'm told now. It takes time to compute that, and all of this is turned in with our own data, really, is what they're going on. That's how they base it.
What worries me is the state's in charge of this. They can't figure out their own formula to determine,
Yes.
if it's adequate funding or not. So,
The federal government?
yeah, they're laying this on us when they don't know what the formula is themselves.
The allocated versus unallocated is one that TEA has a formula built in the data we submit, and we don't actually know what that formula is and what actually affects that formula. So as she said, we didn't actually code anything special ed to function 23, but through their formula, it coded some things toward unallocated funds, and felt like that had about a $44,000 impact on that.
The burden of proof is on us.
Yes,
Right.
yes, always. And we will also probably be getting another problem with this next year because they went back to 07-08 and we didn't catch that problem with PEEMS coding. It's going to now show up probably in between 08-09 and 09-10 school years.
But there's no way to go ahead and can start checking that.
Yes, yes, there
There
is.
is one.
There's a way to start checking it, but there's no way to correct it. I mean, we
Correct
can
it
check it.
until-
Yes, it's
That's
done.
what
It's done, but if it happens again, we'll get a head start on it. She's, after the auditors leave, and we're gonna meet and get with kind of.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel because you already have.
We know the whole procedure. We spent a lot of time trying to get this data, and I think Mr. Rotan, he did a lot of work